Our next guest has emerged as an absolute powerhouse in Congress, a man who truly represents what Florida is all about, freedom, and a member of the Freedom Caucus, and a new member of the Oversight Committee. Congratulations, Representative Byron Donalds. Thank you so much for being on the program. We're very interested in what's going to happen to Joe Biden with these classified documents, along with many other ongoing scandals. There seems to be a new one every single day. Can you give us a little bit of an update as to what Oversight is looking into today?
Well, actually, we were having a meeting earlier today where we're going to start discussing some of the finer points of what's going on with this documents scandal, if you will. But one thing we've been able to piece together at this point is that Joe Biden has documents from when he was a senator that have been on the loose for years now, from when he was a former vice president. And obviously, it might be also from when he was president. Some of the stuff has top secret SCI clearances, and it's spread all over the place. I mean, you have it at the Penn Biden Center, you have it in his house over in Delaware, and there are many other places that we want to check as well. The second thing, and this is what's more important, the National Archives, which was basically trying to sound the alarms because Donald Trump had documents, which typically every ex-president has documents, but they were trying to sound the alarms around national security. They basically were silent, worked basically to keep the story away from the American people. And then now they're clamming up saying that they don't want to speak to oversight, that what they need to do is have everything referred to the Department of Justice before they're allowed to proceed. That's something where we're going to say is not tenable. We are going to have to make them appear and come before the Oversight Committee so we can get real answers to one very key point. Why was there a difference in treatment between Donald Trump and Joe Biden?
Will we be seeing subpoenas issued anytime soon?
That is possible, but right now we're still in the process of working with the National Archives and other people to bring them into the committee. There are interviews that are going to be conducted. And so the one thing we want to make sure we do through oversight is be deliberate in our process. We want to let the evidence speak for what it's for. We want the evidence to speak for itself, essentially, and then we want to make the necessary conclusions. But my viewpoint is that Joe Biden has been mishandling classified documents for more than a decade, if you're going to go back to his time in the U.S. Senate, because like how some Senate Democrats are now saying, it is incredibly confusing how a senator can get documents out of a secured SCIF room, and now they're basically in his possession outside the SCIF. Very hard to see how this happens unless it's deliberate.
Yeah, you're a member of Congress. If you were to get these documents and to look at these documents, which has been asked for, you would have to go into a SCIF, right? There would be, I mean, can you conceive of a situation as to how you would be able to get these documents out of Congress?
No, I can't actually. I mean, unless you stuff them in your shorts or something like that. Because when we go into the SCIF, you're not allowed to bring your phone. Any electronics you have to leave outside. You go into a secure room. The report is brought to you. You sit there, you read it, then you leave the report, and you leave the SCIF. You leave the report in the room. So it's very concerning how these documents got out. People need to remember, Joe Biden, before he was vice president, before he was president, he was chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate. So you know he came across massive amounts of classified information. So this is the stuff that we're going to have to get to the bottom of. It's very concerning for national security.
It's very concerning for the White House. They seem to be doing everything that they possibly can to try and get away from this subject. Karine Jean-Pierre, very tongue-tied, word salad shooter. Karine Jean-Pierre at the White House, when asked about this by the corporate media, you know it's at a tipping point when reporters are saying this.
You just said the president said that he did not know the documents were there. I'm not actually sure he has said that clearly. Are you saying the president did not know?
Well, he said he was surprised. He said he was surprised.
Any of the documents?
He said he was surprised. I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to refer you to the White House counsel's office. I'm just repeating what he said, and he said.
What you just said. You said he did not know the documents were there.
He said he was surprised that the documents were there. He said that, and that he takes this very seriously. That's what I want to make sure that the American people understand. And I just refer.
American people might question that, given that you keep every few days it seems we are finding that more documents have been found at his house.
What I'm telling you is what the president has said, which is he takes this very seriously. I will refer you to detailed explanations from statements that have come from his personal lawyer.
Congressman, it doesn't seem like he's taking this very seriously, and it doesn't seem like the White House even knows what's going on here.
No, what appears to me is that they're just trying to run out the clock, and hopefully the media stops asking, and then essentially they do like what they did with the southern border, is deflect, say they're going to be transparent, the media stop asking, and then they move on about their business. It seems to be the same modus operandi to me. I also got a little chuckle that you call the White House press secretary cringe Jean-Pierre because the answers are cringeworthy. I mean, it's not. It's not good. That's not good.
On a final serious note here, it does seem like there's a considerable amount of obstruction being done. Merrick Garland is letting Joe Biden have his way with his homes and his house. They get no raid there in Rehoboth or in Wilmington. Joe Biden can go there. His lawyers can go taint a crime scene now. Will you be asking for questions from Merrick Garland?
Absolutely. Because he speaks to the double standard that we're already seeing. This is in part what House Republicans have been concerned about, this weaponization of the federal government, this politicization of several agencies. And Merrick Garland is steeped right in the middle of this. Look, let's go back to what happened at Mar-a-Lago. There was no need to raid Mar-a-Lago. The only reason they did that is because they wanted clicks. They wanted a news story. They were leaking to the press on this kind of stuff all before the midterm elections. There was no need to do this. There has never been a president whose home was raided by the FBI. So to do it over documents that the National Archives knew were in President Trump's possession was just outrageous. It was salacious. We're going to get to the bottom of that, too. Because, look, what we can't have is a double standard in the application of the law. The voters, the people, the American people are already frustrated with a double standard in media. We already get how that works. We can't have a double standard in application of the law, and the agencies have to basically use their powers consistently across the spectrum. They don't just get to pick and choose which one is a heinous act and which one is an honest mistake.
It's refreshing to see a member of Congress actually stand up for the people of his state, for your constituents. Donald Trump is one of your fellow Florida residents, and it's really refreshing to hear. Godspeed, Congressman, in your search for truth. We hope you get there.
Thank you.